Hey there, students. Little philosophy lecture for you, focusing on Jean-Paul Sartre's famous quote, "Hell is other people." Now, this comes from No Exit, which is a play written by Sartre, which, of course, is a literary treatment of his existentialist philosophy. Now, Sartre's existentialism is really a rejection of fixed and objective notions of truth. And really, existentialists focus first on matters of existence. Existence precedes essence, and everything is subjective rather than objective. And of course, Sartre argues that this is a good thing because this actually makes the person more free. Because when you think of yourself as an object, then of course that is in relation to something else. Now, whether that is an object created by God or an object created for a certain purpose, that you have basically been put in a box. You have been objectified, so to speak. Sometimes we hear people talk about someone objectifying women or something like that. And really, we objectify other people and really ourselves all the time. Now, this is when we get to see a problem here, because when you objectify yourself, you have limited yourself. And the only way that you can really have subjectivity. Now, let's think about this like a sentence. The dog barked at the intruder. Now, the dog here is a subject. The intruder as the object in the sentence, this person has already been identified as an intruder. This is in relation to the dog. So the object only exist in relation to the subject. And this is a freedom limiting thing, okay? Because as long as you are the subject, then you are independent and you are able to make yourself and you are able to see yourself however it is that you want to be seen, and you can be contented with your own values. But the thing is, for some reason, we are always seeking the approval of others, and it often gets to the point where we are so concerned about what somebody else thinks of us that we lose the ability to think straight or something like that. So, for example, if you are on the outs with your significant other or a close friend and you want to eat ice cream and potato chips, and wait, this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you. This has to do with who you are in relation to this other person. So in essence, you have just objectified yourself and ceased to be the subject of your own life. Now, hell is other people. All right. So when we look at this play, No Exit, the protagonist here, kind of the anti-hero or whatever we'd call him, is a guy named Garcin. I think I've got that right in French. Y'all know how bad my French pronunciation is, and here I am talking about French philosophy. But Garcin is a conscientious objector. All right, he had not fought in the war. Now, of course, if you are a conscientious objector and you've got some sort of reason for that this is a violation of your principles, that you're a pacifist, then great, right? Okay, I mean, if that's part of your values. Now, of course, here's the other side of it, is that when somebody says, "I'm not going to war, I'm a pacifist," well, the first thing a lot of people think is coward. All right, so somebody might refuse to go to war because of their values, or they might refuse to go to war because they are afraid. Now, only you can really determine why it is that you didn't go to war. Now, Garcin is going to hell, all right? Which hell, though, ends up not being a place with demons and torture and all that kind of stuff. He goes into a room, and in the room, two women arrive. And the thing is that the two women never leave. He never gets to go to sleep. He never gets to close his eyes. And so he is constantly in the presence of other people. And what happens here is he's explaining himself. And he's explaining that he was a conscientious objector, that this was in accordance with his principles, that it's the honorable thing to do. But then he starts needing the approval of the other person. He needs this approval. He needs what Sartre calls the look, that you need this look from this person because you have become really an object, okay? Because at the point where Garcin is thinking in terms of, I don't need to just explain to you that I'm a conscientious objector, but I need you to approve of my decision. And we spend so much time agonizing over whether someone else approves of us, and we don't even really realize that, wow, I have lost my subjectivity. I have lost my freedom to think, my freedom to act, my freedom to make myself. And I have been reduced to an object that needs someone else's stamp of approval. And so this is what Sartre means. It's not that other people are inherently bad or something like that, but the state of hell is the state of needing someone else's approval so badly that you forget about your own self as a subject, your own free self, and you become an object. I hope that was helpful. And of course, if you want to go a little deeper into it, my friend Dr. Sadler's got a great channel where he goes into every nook and cranny of this, a philosopher with a PhD. I'm a real big fan of that guy, so check him out. And also, of course, check out my other videos, lots of stuff in history and philosophy. And it's always a pleasure.